guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another acrylic fill tutorial step by step. So I'm going to be going over all of the steps that you need to know in order to do a fill. And before we even get into the video, I don't want to hear nothing about my nails, you guys. Like, once the drill hits my nail a couple times and I start peeling it, it's over. But like, I already took them off, so like I said, I don't want to hear nothing about them. But yeah, so the first step that we're gonna do obviously is take off all of the previous designs. So I'm just taking off my drill, and I already went ahead and removed any rhinestones or anything, so now I can just go ahead and just file off the top coat and any polish that may have been left. And obviously you want to try to get the whole nail, but I'm not too worried about the sides, like the very edges, just because I know when I go back and refile and reshape, that's gonna come off anyway. So for me, honestly, it's just a time saver. Alright, so then once we have most of the previous design removed, I'm just going to take my medium cuticle bit and make sure to get around that cuticle area really good. This is going to help with lifting and prevent it. And then I'm also going to take this just around like the edges of the previously laid acrylic to, like I said, get rid of any of that old polish. Now, if you don't have a cuticle bit or you don't really use one, now would be the time where you would take your cuticle pusher and go ahead and push those cuticles back. And then after this, we're going to follow up with the hand file and go ahead and prep that area. So once I've done my acrylic work, I'm going to take my 88 grit file and etch any new growth that she may have. And the whole point of this is to, 1, remove any shine or any oils from the natural nail plate, and then 2, it's just going to rough up the nail just a little bit just to give the new acrylic something to grab onto. So you can think of it sort of like Velcro. You know how you have like a smooth, fluffy side, and then the other side can grab onto those fibers to stick. It's kind of the same concept. So I'm roughing up the nail just a little bit, and then I'm also going to go around the edges of the previous acrylic and blending it to get more of a seamless transition between the natural nail plate and the acrylic. And you can also use this as an opportunity to hit those sides and get any of that leftover polish. Now this is in 2x speed, so it may look like I'm going fast, but I'm actually being very gentle with this. You always want to be careful when dealing with a natural nail, because if you are being too rough, you may end up taking off way more layers of the nail than you actually need to, which can cause them to be thin and damaged, as well as some discomfort for your client. So please be careful with this part. I know some people would prefer to use their e-file for this, and it's all personal preference, but for me, I'm going to use my hand file and slowly etch the area, making sure I'm not causing any damage. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my 180 grit file that is super dull, and I'm going to refile my shape and just make it a little bit crisper so we have less work when it comes time to drill and file after laying the new acrylic. And at this point, you should have absolutely no residual polish left on these nails at all. So now I'm just going to go in with my first layer of primer. This is my No Lift Nails primer. This is the same primer that I use all the time and I never have any issues with lifting. So I definitely recommend this primer. And then this would be my second coat. You always do your second coat right before you lay your acrylic. And this time I'm going to be using Bad and Bougie by Valentino. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I'll usually grab a bead and then tap the brush onto the paper towel to get rid of any excess monomer and to give the bead more of a drier consistency. But when doing fills, I take a smaller bead and then I don't tap it. I just place it and kind of let it naturally fall where it wants and fill in those little crevices. And while I was filing, I did notice that a couple of the nails were a little misshapen or crooked, so you're going to notice me adding a little bit more acrylic to one side. And then also before laying the new acrylic, I'll just swipe over the nail with a little bit of leftover monomer from the nail before. And this is because I feel like it helps the new acrylic blend in much better with the old acrylic. I noticed that when I didn't do it, sometimes I would see like little air bubbles or pockets, and it kind of looks more like a line. But to avoid this, if you just wipe over the nail with a little bit of monomer, you won't have that problem. So then once my acrylic has cured, I'm just going to go ahead and take my 100 grit file and refile my shape. And I am going to keep my file at a 90-degree angle just to make sure it's super straight. We are doing a tapered square shape. And then the same drilling routine that I always do, I'm going to go around the cuticle area really good and make sure to seal it to prevent any water or anything from being able to get up under there and cause lifting, and then vertical lines for debulking and horizontal lines for smoothing. And I noticed that middle finger was just a little bit wider than the other nails, so I just went in and refiled it to make sure it matched the other nails. And then always last step is to buff really good and make sure everything is super smooth. And now time for design. I feel like I finally figured out how to get the perfect Frenchies every time. So first you're going to do your lines on the outer edges, and then we're going to draw a tiny line right in the middle of the nail at the free edge, and then from there you're going to do a V. So connect your V lines to the line in the middle to make sure that they're even on both sides, and then we're going to draw a horizontal line wherever you want your French to be, and then curve that V out, if that makes any sense. But I feel like you can visually see what I'm trying to explain. And boom, look at that. Perfecto. Love it. So I did a couple like regular Frenchies and then a couple like swirly Frenchies. Not really Frenchies, but like I just did like some swirlies. And then after we do this, then we're going to do the texture. And then the thumb was out of frame, so I didn't even waste your time putting that in the video. But then cure that for 60 seconds, and then once that comes out, we're just going to go ahead and top coat all 10 fingers. Okay, and then to add texture to this design, all I did was I took my Macart rhinestone gel and I just kind of traced like the outline of my French or whatever design I did, and then I just did like random like squiggles or whatever. It honestly looks like raindrops to me. I don't know, I just really like how these came out. I thought it was really pretty. I thought it was really different and cool. And of course, we can't forget cuticle oil. And this is the final result, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram if you're not already at shawnees.touch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.